Dear viewers, music is the voice of God. Not many people can understand it, let alone speak it. So when we have a master who is a Hindustani musician and someone who is being even considered as the best Hindustani musician in Karnataka, who is the recipient of many awards in India and all over the world, I must think it's a pleasure to interview him. This musician is Mr. Prakash Sontakke. Warm welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, you are a Hindustani musician, but you play Western instruments.
Yeah, means this whole categorization of an instrument being born to a particular land, in my opinion, is not the right way to look at it. Any music which can be produced on any instrument, which ultimately connects to the listener.
Okay, but you don't feel that there are limitations to some instruments in producing the kind of music that is suitable to Hindustani ragas?
Like if you look at it analytically, in the past also, how the amount of justice which has been done to the violin in the field of Carnatic music, I think the same justice was not even done in the Western music where the violin was born.
Oh, the kind of range the violin was given.
Exactly. So the exploration of the violin by itself came to the world as something much more unique and bigger when Carnatic musicians started exploring it.
But that is not recognized all over the world as much as the Western music per se is, right? Because today, if the violin is played anywhere in the world, people would rather listen to Western classical music on it.
That kind of a perception is in India, where we think that any kind of Western music is perceivable by everybody. The fact is, if you really look into the youngsters and lots of people who hear the music, they are not very well aware of what is the kind of a music that they are listening to.
Okay, it could be mostly fusion.
Exactly.
Okay, but is it also true that, you know, Western music is more harmonious and Indian music has a lot of melody? But this is the kind of allegation that Indian music has been facing.
See, what's happening is, in my opinion, the best way to describe the real difference would be, you cannot put 4 Indian musicians together and get exact music out of them.
Okay.
But the same thing is possible in Western musicians.
It's because of the problem.
But the other way around, no, the other way around, you keep any single Western musician alone, he cannot do as much as an Indian musician can.
Okay, but it could also do with the mentality, because, you know, the way you treat your instrument, because in India, the musician becomes part of the instrument, or the instrument becomes part of the musician when the music is being produced or a concert is being held. But unlike in the Western system, where actually the composer gets into the whole process of conducting the music.
True. See, the exploration of instruments in our country, I personally feel, has been a slight limited, because every instrument has its own tenor.
Okay.
So by tenor I mean the range.
Okay.
Like how much I can explore a violin, the same thing will differ from how a cello can be explored or a viola can be explored.
Okay.
So in that context, in Western music, what they do is, when there is a violinist, there is a cello player and a viola player all playing together, they know their limitations, but they play together.
They just play the parts to make it a whole.
Yes.
But here, the part itself is the whole. Oh, that's very interesting. But that way, would it be difficult for an accomplished Indian musician or a Hindustani musician to be playing in a Western composition or a concert, because he would rather play in an Indian dispensation where, you know, you are playing in a jugalbandi, where you're actually showing off your own bit?
Yeah. No, I understand, but depends on the format of the concert. If you are playing in a concert where you have accompaniment of 10 or 12 different instruments playing with you, and you have to be essentially be a part of the whole thing. So you have to have an idea of what exactly is the length and breadth of the melody, where you have to improvise. Unlike in case where the instruments are lesser, then the exploration is more.
Okay, but do you think that, you know, Indian musicians are actually used to very few instruments? And in most cases could be one instrument which is accompanied by a few others which just add to the melody.
Yeah, means that also...
Because we are not so much worried about the composition as such.
True.
We are actually looking at the talent and the skills.
True, true.
I mean,
I get
actually I'm
what
asking
you're saying. What I personally feel is this has a lot to do with the basic music education of our country, where I feel there is no education happening in terms of music at all.
Okay. You're just being taught an instrument.
Yeah.
Or to play it, and that's where it ends.
Correct.
And nobody is actually given the sense of music.
True, true. Even in the educational circuits, I don't personally see music being made compulsory as a form of education.
And I think most people actually develop a sense of ego with the instrument than a talent with it.
Okay, that's a bold statement, I would say. Okay.
No, because it's actually true. Like, you want to show off instead of actually seeing that how you can actually contribute.
True, very true.
So that, for instance, happens probably somebody as a flautist, or somebody as a violinist, somebody as a guitarist, but you don't know how the person actually performs in producing a larger music composition. True. Right?
No, that could be because of the whole our social setup, where we have been placed with too many mouths to feed.
Okay.
So everybody has to somehow show himself to be very unique and very distinct.
And unless you actually prove that you're the best, that you will not have the place under the sun.
Yeah, that's...
So otherwise you have to really, innovate something. You have to make your own instrument, like you have done in some cases.
Yeah, means I would not exactly say that could be something with the mentality of the person also.
Okay.
See, being a part of a group, you could find that even in people, There are friends who are very comfortable when friends are around, but some are very different when they are uniquely to themselves.
Okay, but you have modified some instruments, particularly the guitar, and you made it to something else. I think the whole trend started with Vishwamohan Bhatt, right?
Probably.
Even
before that we have had.
And even I think our Suma Sudhindra also innovated something with a veena.
True.
And many other people have tried, but it came to the world stage only with Vishwamohan Bhatt, perhaps.
Maybe, because I think it came to the world stage mainly because of his Grammy.
Okay.
He was there on the world stage.
Otherwise, people are actually trying something with even the violin for a very long time, right? And that's one instrument people had tried for a long time.
True, true.
And also the guitar, but guitar they thought, it was like more hippie kind of a thing. Like you could do anything with it. So it was not even part of the instrument. It was like part of the culture.
If you look at this particular guitar which I have with me, it's a Western guitar. It's actually a Western instrument altogether. It's being used in country music, in American country music, where you find these people wearing cowboy hats and singing music. But this has been part of their culture too for almost like 60, 70 years, 100 years now, and even more. But in that instrument, I feel how our music can be so beautifully
produced. But music can be produced out of anything, I think, if you really know how to do that, right? True. So as long as an instrument can produce a sound that would be called as music, I think it can suit any style of genre, music production.
That's a very nice way to look at it.
Okay. So I think that you should be, first of all, able to bring out that music from an instrument. Like somebody who cannot play the guitar, even if he jumps on it also, he cannot do anything with it. So if he can play the guitar, I think you can play any music with it.
True, very true.
So why did you have to make the modification?
So the modification at one particular time was done only for the sake of getting more sound out of the instrument. Okay. Because I believe in more of sustain, because my style of playing, my approach of music has been more towards sustain. Okay. Because how a note rings into your ear is where the whole music starts building in actually.
Okay, and it should not just stop at the ear, it should go into your heart. So that takes a little time. So for the sound to remain till it reaches, so it can actually work on your heart and your mind.
Exactly.
Oh, that's very beautiful. So that is when you actually started seeing the potential of the guitar to produce Indian sounds rather.
My mother, as a matter of fact, is a Hawaiian guitar artist herself.
Okay.
She used to play the Hawaiian guitar in the younger days, and then she taught me, she put me onto these things.
But guitar is an unbelievably beautiful music instrument, right? True. Because I think it's such a popular instrument, not just because more people have used it, but it's so close to your being, correct? Like from speaking to rap to singing to anything, it just goes with you. Even just a simple background to speech also, perhaps a conversation.
Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah.
So, and when you modified it, what did you...
In the West...
Inorganic growth. You cannot be expecting inorganic, cancerous growth. You want some organic transformation.
Yeah, even if there is an appreciation of other genres and how other music could be appreciated, in the West it's not like that. They are open to everything and anything you do.
Okay, but you really feel good when you play Indian music to a Western audience?
That's right. I love it.
But you really are such a big master, but how come many people don't know about you? Or is it that, only few people like me haven't been keeping a watch on you?
No, see, this is a very subjective thing. Classical musicians and the whole classical crowd, I don't think we should be expecting popularities like a Shah Rukh Khan or somebody.
As long as you have your place
Very true.
under
We have
the
our
sun
niche. We
where
have
it
our
is-
niche.
Yeah.
There are
But don't you
people who
think
like
that, so many other people who may appreciate this but have not had a chance to know why? Because many people don't even know the difference between good music and bad music, or classical music and non-classical music.
True.
So unless people are given an opportunity to know the difference, how will they be able to appreciate?
That's true. That's where I
That's
think,
what you said about the music education.
That's music education and the awareness of media towards all the other musical styles.
Yeah, because only popular music is given.
True.
Look, in our show, you're here, and that itself is, I think...
yeah, people like you should make the difference.
I'm very glad that you are here performing in this show, and I'm sure many people will pay attention to this and appreciate the music that you've produced. Not only that, and also appreciate a person like you who has dedicated
There's
his
so
life
much more to be done, I still feel. There's so much
Okay.
more to be done in terms of reaching
Certainly.
out to the people.
Certainly, I look forward to doing, or rather seeing you more on TV and doing more shows with you and taking this beautiful music to people. Thank you very much.
Thank you.